Hello and welcome back to Rogue Trader. We are on the trail of the homunculus, and after a brief detour to go through the scary door that Adir was seeing in her visions, it is time for us to get back to doing that. However, before we do that, we need to level up. Also, are these injuries like really big, or are these okay? I can live with that one. 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 Okay, cool. Right, let's do some level ups. So, first of all, it's a skills talent level up. Okay. So, what skill do we need a little extra points in? So, this is just a 10 point to a skill. Now, let's just look at our skills and see which ones do we not need points in. Well, we don't need points in Lore Imperium, Warp, Xenos, right? We get a reroll on all of them, and our rolls are insane. So, currently, we don't need that. Medicine, tech use, I think we're kind of fine. Logic, we're definitely fine. Demolitions, I mean, that's got to be something for someone else to do. So, and then awareness, that one we only really use in the field, so somebody else can help with that. Athletics, same kind of thing. Carouse is just terrible for us, so we're between coercion, commerce, and persuasion. I think I'm going to try to push up persuasion a little bit here. And the reason I'm going to do that is I would like to have one of these skills be good, and I think that persuasion is an okay skill to have there. I think that that will work for us. And it gives us the ability to do some amount of talking. Obviously, if we have to coerce, if we have to do something else, then it's not going to be useful, but I think it'll be fine for now. I just don't think we need any of the other ones. Now, an exemplar talent. Let's see what we got here. Degraded defense. When we deal damage to an enemy, that enemy suffers 1 stack of degraded defense. For every 6 damage the character is dealt. Whenever an ally attacks that enemy, they deal additional damage equal to the number of degraded defense stacks. It's kind of cool. During the first turn of combat, gains additional action points. I don't think we need that. Then tricky defense. If we wear light armor, our dodge is increased by half the armor bonus for that armor. That does give us quite a lot of dodge, right? Yeah, that puts us up to 111 dodge because it gives us an extra 17%. Okay. What else could we take here? I'm just thinking of other things that could be useful. And things that we didn't have initially. We do have a lot more fellowship than we used to. Is there anything that we can do off of fellowship here? I know that I'm going back through here. We could also have a look at psychic stuff. I just don't think that that's really... this isn't the time to pivot to being a psyker. I don't think that's going to work. Deadeye shot, don't worry about that. Don't think I need to do that. Whenever the character is attacked by an enemy, we really should be trying to avoid that. Whenever the character fails a willpower resistance test against the character, we don't really do that many to other people. We might take a lot, but we don't do any to other people. Flesh wounds, we restore HP. I don't think so. Allies within a 2-cell... who are within 2 cells around us gain 3 plus character's fell bonus % more damage. That's okay. I don't think it's necessarily something we need. Don't think we need Firebrand because we don't give anyone extra turns. Damage for each time we deal damage in combat isn't going to do anything for us. That's again extra turns. When we push, we don't push people. After we kill the first enemy, that character immediately makes an additional single attack against the closest enemy they can target with the same weapon. This attack deals 30% base damage with a 10% bonus for every difficulty tier of the first killed enemy. That's intriguing. I kind of think that could be useful. We do actually tend to kill people in the first turn of combat now. Critical hit chance and stuff is increased. I'm not really worried about that. We always have ranged weapons equipped. All damage is increased by 3% until the end of combat for each new enemy damaged. That's kind of intriguing as well. Yeah. Let me just check. Are we still using... I know that we're going to lose our progress here. Yes. Are we still using that one that bounces? Yes. This is still the one that bounces. Let's maybe build around that a little bit here. Let's start saying that that might be our forever weapon. Okay. But let's not go all in. But I think that this one could be really good, because that weapon that we have bounces between people. And that means that we get 3% extra damage. We also get damage at the start from using our ability that takes away stacks. So, take away stacks, shoot somebody. suddenly we've got like an extra 60% to our attack for the next turn. Yeah, I think that makes us very solid. Okay. Idira. Additional skill. Her awareness is really good. Is there anything else we would need her for? Well, immediately you just say, anything the main character can do, she isn't needed for. So she's worse in all of these, and that. In which case it has to be awareness. I have already done awareness. Okay. In which case it has to be medicine, because that's the only thing that she could reasonably use without the main character being involved. Right? Because she may use a med pack. That's about the best I got here. Then here, what have we got? We don't have very many that I ticked. So eager for battle is the additional 2 action points. And this one is extra damage for each new enemy. Really? That's the best I got? Damn, that's not very good. There are some willpower bonuses. Maybe I didn't take these previously. Also, potentially tricky defense is good. Yeah, there are some bonuses to us doing things with willpower. Those are probably worth doing. Actually, there's one in here that I saw for us, which might be very worth taking. What was it? Oh, it was already Malign Influence. It's the one that we already have. Ah, I see. No. Character gains an int bonus. No. None of these are looking good. Firebrand, we don't give anyone extra turns. +1 for each attack. We don't make that many attacks. Yeah, none of these are really fantastic for us, unfortunately. Although, whenever you deal damage to an enemy, they suffer additional stacks, and we do actually deal multiple instances of damage to enemies. This one's actually interesting, because we do deal a lot of tiny little bits of damage when we use, when they fail willpower resistance tests to take a point of damage. But they also take a point of damage from whatever caused it, so they tend to take like little tiny bits of damage, and if that stacks, we can then let an ally hit it for a huge amount of damage. Potentially. Although we would have to make sure that we don't waste that, which is probably a problem. I guess Cataclysm would be pretty good then, right? Oh, not Cataclysm. The other one. The one that stacks up for each... yeah. Any damage is increased by 1 for each it's for each attack, not for each bit of damage they apply. I guess degraded defense is good then. Let's take degraded defense, because that's for each bit of damage that we apply. Okay. Here, awareness again is insane, and it's the only one that... actually, demolitions is probably better, right? Because it's one that you're better than the main character at, so therefore we could use it. Let's go. Here, we actually have some things that they might be good at. Degraded defense I don't think is what we're after, but I think Death Dealer could be really good. It's another attack. Yeah, this one was the one I was thinking of. It's like another attack. Like, just, it seems good. It means that we've now got like 6 attacks in 1 turn. Okay. You. I'm thinking it's going to be Carouse or Athletics. It's probably going to be Athletics then, huh? Okay, because it's the lower of the 2, and I think they're both like higher than we'll need. Then your stuff is down here. So, we become immune to all effects that reduce MP, and they gain toughness bonus divided by 2 MP. The character gains 12 wounds. These wounds are further increased by toughness, by 10 times toughness bonus %. Okay, that's kind of cool. Deflection is doubled against single target attacks. +5 to all characteristics. It goes up if you're low on HP. Whenever they're attacked by an enemy, gain momentum. If they consider him the priority target, deal 40% damage or less damage to the character's allies. We restore wounds each turn. First melee attack each round deals 2 damage for each cell between the character's current position and the spot where they start their turn. And gains 15 willpower as long as they have no ranged weapons equipped. This one is kind of nice. That's a solid chunk of willpower. And what might be nice about giving him some willpower is that then means that his willpower resistance techs are more in his favor. Yeah, it means that he's less likely to just fall over if we meet a Psyker. On the other hand, we just give him extra toughness. He already has unbreakable will, I guess. Yeah, or we can just give him more wounds. Yeah. Let's see here. It doesn't say how many it's going to give him, but I'm going to go with this. I think this will be good. Yeah, let's just give him a chunk of extra health. There we go, which also gives him a chunk of extra strength. He's now on 160 health, 112 strength. Wonderful. Marazai. Again, we'll do the same thing that we've done on all the others. So worse than the main character, worse than the main character, worse than the main character apart from Carouse. Potentially Carouse, but probably Demolitions would make the most sense here. Yeah. And then here, I'm not entirely sure what we want to do. Let's see here. Every melee attack reduces target's armor is interesting. Where's the one for each attack? I think I already have it, right? Yeah, I already have the one for each attack. Perfection under fire is the extra characteristics. Tricky defense is when you wear light armor, the dodge is increased by half of the armor bonus. Do you wear light armor? You probably do, right? Yes, you do. Okay, so your dodge would be increased by 20%, which would then increase your lethality even further. Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of into that. It would also make you even harder to hit. So, we're going for Demolitions. Then, we want to take Tricky Defense, which now gives us 164% dodge. Incredible. Right. And now on Jai's turn, let's see what we're going to do here. So Jai actually has quite a lot of things that are better than the main character, including Lower Imperium. However, what are the ones that we actually want here? Because all of these are high enough that we're never going to need anything else, as is Commerce. Maybe Coercion? Try and push up Coercion a little bit here. Yeah. I think that could be pretty good. Then, let's see what we got. After an ally takes an extra turn provided by the character, the ally gains armor, dodge, and movement points until the end of combat. Does not stack, but it's a pretty good bonus. Or action points in turn 1 of combat. And then a bonus to characteristics. I like this one. It's a permanent bonus. It's armor, dodge, and movement points, which are all always good. Yeah, let's go with that. Right. And now to the laboratory. So, we're heading further in this way. It's, yeah, it's been a little bit of a detour. But, we're back to it. And it's time to get a little bit of revenge. Now, I'm hoping that us giving the homunculus all of those items back in Komarag is going to mean that there is a very, very powerful thing for us to fight. That's kind of my hope here. I don't know if it's going to happen that way, but it would be really cool if it did. We open this?
I'll learn from this mistake.
I guess not.
What a shame.
Wait, can everyone take a shot at it?
Damn it.
No. Okay, let's use one of these.
That's how it's done.
Hey, wonderful. Let's grab our goods. Anything else in here? The cage, bars, and floor are covered in caked-on blood. The Xenos torture device has been placed out in the open. It clearly sees regular use. Okay.
Keep your wits
this
about
way?
you.
The corpse in Tech Priest garb was shot in the head. More likely a cold-blooded execution than death in combat.
This could be an opportunity.
Okay, let's disable this. There is an elevator, which is almost certainly the way forward here, but let's just avoid it for now. Also, are we leading the party here? I just want to check once it finishes the save. No, we're fine as long as I do this. Is there money
to be made?
Okay.
Keep a sharp eye.
Another Lorzinos thing for us to disarm.
Success is the only outcome I accept.
So does this elevator go nowhere, or... Not entirely sure. Oh, that does not look safe. Now that I'm looking at the elevator, look at this. It's going up and down, up and down. lift call panel is unresponsive.
Rise to the top.
Okay, never
or
mind.
Get left in the dust.
Also, an interesting flag. That must be the homunculus's, sigil. Cool. Oh, huge room. This just an immediate fight? Think it could be. This looks very, very cool. There's Tervantias. Alright, I'm ready. So I can see already what's happening here. Big open room. These things are going to break out. There's going to be... Oh, yeah, they're going to break out all over here. Maybe a big guy at the back. Oh, I'm in.
I always keep my options open.
Let's go. You're looking at several completely identical homunculi at work, a disturbing sight. The indistinguishable and familiar faces turn their attention towards you, morosely and almost indifferent. One of the homunculi starts to talk, and with all the usual arrogance. "The specimen! We meet again! Your escape from Komarag was both a statistical anomaly and an act of abject cowardice. You should have died in a dark city, instead of overstepping the limits of your own usefulness. You made too much noise." You meet again. You decided not to kill Tervantias. Oh, it's interesting that that one's blue because, I mean, I guess if we decided to kill him, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. Unless, of course, we're assuming that there would be a clone of Tervantias or something. Interesting. The monster falls silent. Barely perceptible electrical charges run through the homunculi's bodies. Then, the one who spoke continues. "So you're here. Now what? Are you going to bore me with your questions, monkey?" Jai unconsciously reaches for the augment on her neck to check that it is still there. You help Jay Hidari get her respiratory augment back after the homunculus's atrocious experiment on her flesh. "Boy, you ashmag. Oh, no. We'll just stuff your skimmy arse full of metal. You love pain after all, don't you?" Let's examine the homunculi. The homunculi are twitching slightly, as though from invisible electric impulses. They look virtually identical, yet each seems to be missing something. A limb, an implant, even a facial feature or two. The single gaze of the many faces no longer seems full of haughty superiority only. Some kind of shared defect also shows in it. What is this place? It does not exactly look like a Drukhari laboratory. The clones look around them in a movement that's almost synchronized. A disembodied voice answers you. Oh yeah, so from that we can pretty much say that if we had killed him, there would be a clone of him here. That makes sense, I think. "This dreary vault is lacking in practicality and function, but it's been a passable refuge for me and my research." Why are you here and not in Komarag? "I'm obviously here because this is my laboratory containing my research that requires my attention." The familiar voice of one of the Xenos sounds as if he was lecturing a child. I see that you have found new company, Tervantias. You hear the Drukhari's voice again, but can't see who is talking to you. "Found? Don't you mean made? I'd had a backup shell stored away for centuries, but the events at the spire of the Reaving Tempest convinced me one active body was not enough. I've seen the body of a dead tech priest in this lab. Where did he come from? Explain." A broad, repulsive grin appears on one of the disfigured faces. "How would I know? I can't tell one monkey from another." That hole in the ceiling is a peculiar design choice. What happened here? The identical faces look annoyed and spiteful. For a moment, it seems the homunculi are about to reply in unison, but a barely perceptible electrical impulse stops them. One of them scoffs and mutters through his teeth. "Just more proof of how unreliable partnerships with lower life forms are." You notice one of the homunculi glance at the hole in the ceiling. Fury contorts the Xenos' face. Tervantias is unable to hide his anger at what has happened. Whoever did that and whatever it was that they did, it infuriated him a lot. Am I talking to one Tervantias or several? Is each of you a separate individual? The homunculi you can see are silent, and yet you still hear Tervantias' reply. His voice seems to be coming from every side at once. My new multiple form is intriguing, isn't it? I'll leave your question unanswered, specimen. Give you something to ponder. Alright. Draw our weapon. This meeting will be our last, Tervantias. You're different from others of your species, specimen. This time around, I want to study you much, and I mean much more thoroughly, which necessitates your death. And I hope dying once doesn't suffice for you.
Xenos scum! You don't belong in this galaxy.
I will revel in your pain.
Well, that's a lot of things spawning. That is a lot of things spawning. Oh, big guys at the back. Okay. Kill all the Tervantiases. So it's Twisted Creature, Tervantias, Twisted Creature, Twisted Creature. Alright. Let's have a look at the main Tervantias here. So he has a ton of health. Reinforced Cabalite armor, pistol of the Arc Machinator. What does he do? Sheer pain. Shoots a target suffering from bleeding and deals mental damage. The target becomes staggered instead of bleeding, and all creatures around it suffer bleeding. Okay, so immediately do not use Malachi's bleeding thing. It won't go well for us. Experimental Stim, I assume is some kind of buff. He gets power from pain, Burning Touch to the Warp. Oh, Burning Touch to the Warp is interesting, actually, because it means if we apply Idira's stuff to him, that's going to be really bad for them. Okay. Blood Barrier. At the beginning of its turn, this creature gains stacks of Blood Barrier equal to the number of bleeding enemies. This creature also regains maximum wounds per number of Blood Barrier stacks gained. I see. Okay, so this is what really keeps him alive. So either you have to burst him, or you have to make it so that you're not bleeding. Okay. Well, luckily it does give us a turn to set ourselves up here. So is this cover? This is not cover. What is cover here? So this bit in the center is cover. This bit is cover over here. You probably want to pick a side and go with it. So, I'm kind of thinking that you're going to start your turn here, right? You can see pretty much everything. It seems like a good spot. However, you need somebody to protect you. Or we need to kill this guy immediately. We could potentially kill them immediately. Let's maybe go for Jai being here. Potentially could be alright. These guys don't have a ton of health. Yeah. Jai could be here. She could also be here, though. I think that could work. We could end our turn, like, there. So let's just move ourselves back. Abelard, obviously we're kind of looking at you being as far forward as possible. Actually, maybe here to try and block them coming to Earliet. Okay. I guess that means I kind of want Marazai to do the opposite on the other side. Try and stop them coming towards Jai. Idira. Idira's in an odd spot. I don't really have... I guess she can be in the center for now. I know splitting up is not really great for our current setup, but I think it might be good long term. In fact, with this, I almost want you round the corner, but I guess I can't do that. Could stick you here, I suppose. That might work, yeah. And then... I don't know. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put you here. We're going to go crazy. You're going to go here. We're then going to go to this square. Yeah, I think that works really well for us, actually. We'll go to this square, and that'll be our dodge area. Yeah, that I think is our plan. Start the battle. So immediately, we have combat locus. So we need to figure out where we're putting that. I'm going to put backline here. I'm going to go like this, actually. I maybe could have actually hit Marazai with it had I positioned him right, but that's okay. That's going to be backline. We're going to combat locus it. to double its stuff. We are then going to make this front line. That's obvious. He's the guy who benefits from it. This is going to be rear. We then want to move up there. I just want to see if there's anyone we can tactical knowledge. Not immediately. Let's move up. There's people all around, and we see. Oh, there's somebody back there as well. I didn't even notice them. Okay. Am I able to tactical knowledge a large enough group of people? Need to hit 4 with it. That's the problem. They're all kind of spread out. I don't think we're hitting tactical knowledge on 4 this turn. Well, let's take a step further forward. Is there anyone I can hit like this? Yeah, no, we're not hitting 4 this turn with that. Okay. In which case, just go here. We'll trench line stratagem where we are. Nice. I can put extra stack. Actually, I can put extra stacks on someone, then tactical knowledge, right? Because allies gain that. Yeah. And it's if we move 4 or more, we get the damage. So I guess I want to see if I can hit just one person, which I could do if I do this. So let's put stacks on you.
Who if not me?
Okay, and this will remove all stacks, right? If it's just a single person. There's no enemy, remove all stacks. So this is going to give us 10 stacks. So this will actually give us 50% extra damage. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'll see to it personally.
So we now have 50% extra damage, and all allies now have 20% extra armor. The extra armor, by the way, 10% of that is going into Marazai's dodge, just in case you forgot. We then probably want to use Surefire Plan and shoot somebody, maybe even Tervantias for the bounce. Or we want to shoot back here. Actually, yeah, we want to shoot back here and see if we can get these guys. Let's use Surefire Plan.
It's as good as done.
And then we're going to shoot this guy. Actually, we're going to shoot this one for the kill. Nice. Okay, that gave me an... I actually ended up with an extra stack. Oh, because Surefire Plan doesn't cost anything. Let's use Joint Analysis. Not quite done yet, though. Now we want to transcend the potential onto Jai.
Who if not me?
Which now means that Jai can offer earlier extra... yeah, she now gets an extra turn. Switch weapon. There we go. Shoot. That'll then give her an immediate second shot.
I deal death with my hands. Another soul slips
2
beyond
down.
the veil.
Switch weapon. I should set some targets actually for us here. Obviously, Tervantias is going to be our big target. Actually, I could have set targets before this and then maybe had Adira have a turn in between, but let's not worry about that. Do I have anything that's not a 2? Everything is 2s. Yes, it's all 2s and 1s. Even this... Oh, this guy's a 4. Can we try and select that one? Yeah. We're probably not going to kill them anytime soon. Yeah, foul aberrations, twisted creatures. The rest are 2s. So let's just pick one and kill it. Like, can we kill this one with this? Maybe. Yeah, so let's just pick you.
If I must.
Right. Then, shoot.
If it serves your cause. I hear you moving.
That now gives
no
Adira
more.
a turn. Now, can Adira actually get to Tervantias here? Let's see. Mind Rupture. Yeah, that seems good. Let's do that. I can't hit you with Mind Rupture. Why not? Are you just too far away? Just trying to see the range here. Yeah, I guess you're just too... Well, no, I just can't hit you for some reason with this. Yeah, it must just be line of sight. Okay. Oh, I can set my prey, though. Yes, set prey.
Was that you? Or
Followed by set prey.
anything else?
Followed by set prey.
Will do.
Okay. That's fine. Then we want to do sensory deprivation on this guy. Nice. Little bit of damage. Could use dominate if we wanted to on somebody here. Could do a little buff if we wanted to here. Yeah, I don't know. Let's maybe use forewarning on Marazai. Give him even more dodge. Nice. That seems good. Back to our turn. Shoot this foul aberration.
I understand your intent. I deal death with my hands.
That now gives Adira another turn. Adira can now start blinding these guys.
On it.
Nice. Follow it up with... What's this? Target gains a bunch of bonuses. We'll give that to Jai for now. Nice. Okay, end turn. Back to us.
This
Shoot.
tedium is beneath me.
That was yet another prey. So now we can keep giving out bonuses and blinding people. So let's blind here next.
Was that you?
Let's keep putting out as many blinds as we can. We've cleared behind us, haven't we? Yes. Next. I'm actually going to give the bonus to you, Malachi, because he has things that scale off of that. Yeah. Because he has things that scale off of intelligence to give everyone buffs, so that's useful. Right, back to Earliet. Could take a shot at Tervantias. I think we'd be better off taking a shot at someone else if we could. Just seeing who I can actually take a shot at. What about this one? They're a little bit out there.
If I must. Another soul slips
Nice.
beyond the veil.
Then maybe a shot here.
If it serves your cause.
Nice. Then one more shot. I mean, we can shoot Tervantias. Let's use Call the Bold and shoot him. That'll then reduce his armor by his difficulty tier. Yeah.
I will not.
Oh, I'm out of
That
AP.
is beneath
Oops.
me.
Okay, my bad. Right, so he now gets more of a turn. Let's assign that as guy as an objective. So if anyone kills them, they get a bonus. We could then... Fervor, press the advantage. Oh, we want to Inquisitor's Decree first.
Tell me, and it is done.
That now gives us access to another heroic act next turn. Fervor, press the advantage, then we can
Don't
shoot.
get too cocky. Okay, now
Press
I'm
the
really
advantage.
riled up.
So now this attack's going to do a lot more damage. Anyone we can actually shoot? Is anyone within range to shoot? No. Well, in which case I would love to move forward and shoot somebody, but you in range? No. In which case I just wasted that, but that's okay. I'd rather leave you in here. Right, now it's her real turn. Right, now, let's see. Let's do a buff to Marazai.
You've got a problem. I've got a prize.
Actually, this isn't her actual turn. This is her free turn for someone having... You know, this is another extra turn. I forget why she gets it, but it is another extra turn. Right, let's inspire Earliet. Right. Then, I can't give another turn because that wouldn't be allowed, but I could potentially do this to allow everyone to take a shot onto Tervantias, or actually if I move forward just a little bit, allow everyone to take a shot over here.
You're living on the edge.
Didn't get a kill on that one, unfortunately. Okay. Move back. Yeah, I don't have a shot on anyone. I could set another target like this
Am I
one.
getting paid for this?
Okay. You know what? Let's let Tervantias have a turn. Oh, wait. No, it's back to us. Now we'll let Tervantias have a turn. There's Blood Barrier, which would heal him for each bleeding enemy. However, there aren't any bleeding enemies. You've killed someone and got Invigoration. Okay, so you gain bonuses based on killing the small guys. What is that bonus of invigoration? The creature kills an ally to become stronger. It recovers all MP, gains an additional attack this turn, 50% critical hit chance for 2 turns. Okay. I can shoot you, and by that shoot Tervantias through you. Let's go for a Cull the Bold to start.
I understand your intent.
Then I'm going to just shoot you.
This tedium is beneath me. No weakness is hidden
Nice.
from my sight.
Switch weapon. And then shoot. Yeah.
If it serves your cause. Ancestors guide me.
Now I'm going to use Claim the Bounty to kill the... I can't see you? Oh. What if I move up here? Then can I see you? I need to be move here, basically. Okay, that's fine. Shoot.
I move as if unseen.
This will now give Idira another turn. Yep. Mind Rupture.
I bring agony.
Oh, he started doing something. That seemed to be good. Okay. Then blind
Anything
him.
else?
You will pay.
Okay. Cool. Back to Earliet. Oh, there's no cover over here anymore. Once these gets destroyed, there's no cover. Okay, head this way.
Stop trying, monkey.
Oh, you can't shoot again this turn. That's fine. Yeah, head all the way over here. Then, let's assume that if we're going to continue, he's probably going to be alive. In which case, if that is the case... Actually, whenever ally attacks target marked as prey, the attack deals 22% additional damage. Yeah, let's do that first. And then we're going to target Tervantias.
I am not
so if
your
he's still
Xenos
alive
pet
next time
monk.
Earliet gets a turn, she'll shoot. Twisted creature runs forward. Does the world's worst attack. Right, Marazai. Well, I'm thinking get close enough to charge, first of all. Then, let's mark... yeah, let's use aim for an opening.
Approaches.
And just mark a side. Wonderful. Hit him.
With grace.
Okay. Then, can we dash through? We
It is
can.
handled.
Dash through. Killing Edge.
I'm done playing with you.
Oh, that now gives Idira another turn. Mind Rupture.
Let them tremble.
Okay. That's fine. End turn. Back to Marazai. Marazai can then use this for another attack.
What a useless plaything. Broken already.
Dash up here. And maybe make himself the lowest priority
Don't
target.
distract me.
Yeah, that works. Abelard. Up here, charge in. Well, up here, mark as an
My
enemy.
place is at the fore.
There we go. Let's just see what else I got. So I need 2 for the charge and potentially 1 for an attack after. Let's try and leave ourselves 3, so in which case I'm going to use Wall of Rock Creep. Charge.
It will be done. 1 fewer target.
Killed him. Okay. That's another fight that we kind of just ended before seeing the mechanics.
Backup plan.
We got any loot we can grab here? We do. Okay, so, Blood Barrier Emitter. Recover wounds equals the number of bleeding creatures. If at least 1 wound was recovered that way, 1 fresh injury is removed from the wearer as well. Interesting. That's almost a Marazai thing. Yeah, almost. Arc Machinator's Deceit. Whenever the wearer uses an attack that is of a different type than the previous attack, they gain momentum equal to their resolve. Don't think we need that, but it is kind of his thing. And then Homunculus's Injector, which is just a bonus kind of thing. That's fine. It's a buff. That's the word I was looking for. Oh, right. Sort by newest to oldest. Yeah, so these are all... These are basically kind of the same thing in terms of what we're getting. except that we would need this to trigger 3 times for this to be for it to be better. In a turn, it would trigger 3 times. However, you're assuming that he's not going to dodge more than once in an enemy turn, which, if we play it right, he could definitely dodge more than once in an enemy turn. So, yeah, that's fine. Also, I mean, it's kind of my failing here, but I don't really rate momentum very highly.
What is it?
The reason I don't rate momentum very highly is that you get heroic acts so much quicker through just other means. But that might be a iconoclast thing. Yeah, like that ring that Jai has, plus the ability to just give someone a heroic act. It's kind of, yeah, it's crazy.
Just as I planned.
Thick green sludge, condensed solution that Xenos used for growing clones, is still running down the walls of the large, heavy glass capsules. I had the feeling that if we had let the fight continue, they would have been like spawning things from these, like from the extra ones, and that because it was allowing us to shoot them separately.
Keep your wits
so
about you.
I was wondering whether it would spawn more enemies in, and whether it was meant to be like a long slog of a fight where it keeps spawning enemies on you. Yeah, I don't know. This kind of died though. Goods. There's a dent on the data slate screen covered in flickering coloured stripes. The readable parts are twitchy and contain repetitions. Numerous studies pursued the goal of breaking new ground in recreating and reviving the specimen in the event of its death. The above-mentioned experiment laid the groundwork for modernising and accelerating the creation of a living organism from a minuscule sample of bone or muscle tissue. Every variety of living organism has been observed to release a number of chemicals at the moment of death that enable the creation of an entirely identical clone with intact memories of its prior life up to and including the moment of its death, and most vividly detailed as to both physical sensations and emotional distress. As mentioned before, even a tiny modicum of bone or muscle tissue is sufficient for reviving or creating an organism in an adequate lab setup. Bear in mind that work on creating the new body must begin before the third stage of decomposition is set in. Okay, so I'm guessing that if you had killed Tervantias, this is your explanation for why he came back. Also, in terms of difficulty, I've been thinking about putting up again, but what I'm going to do is, because I know that, or I've been told that the end of Act 4 is a difficulty spike, we're going to wait, and if we finish Act 4 and we're still like, the difficulty is too low, we'll just bump it for Act 5. So for the finale of the game, we'll bump it.
In the dust.
Oh, there's the hole in the ground. I was wondering what hole we were talking about, but okay, now I see it. The space around the hollow is littered with lumps of broken concrete. A small wind gets into the room through the ugly hole in the ceiling, stirring up whirlwinds of stone dust at your feet. The hole in the lab's vaulted ceiling and the hollow underneath it point you to the obvious. Something broke into this room, ripped out a piece of the lab, dragged it outside. You are for now mystified as to what that something was. Awareness? Through the piled up rocks, dirt and thick dust, you're able to make out parts of fixtures that were ripped out from their sockets and thrown to the floor. Parts of these are used for fastening industrial grinders in place at large manufactoriums around the Imperium. Demolition? You study the edges of the breach carefully, reflect for a few minutes, and conclude that the hole in the lab ceiling was blown by several powerful directed explosives. After some more time, you note the characteristic marks on the debris and wall. The ceiling was breached using melta charges. Aha! And we saw that tech priest as well. So maybe servants of the Omnissiah snuck in here, grabbed whatever this was and left? What do you think about all this? Also, I guess if we had Pascal, he'd be able to confirm. The seneschal looks around, frowning. I don't understand. Drukhari machinery and their toys seem out of place in these walls. Nay, they seem positively alien. These walls. Why, this is the standard architecture of an Imperium bunker. Why would the Xenos conduct their business in a place like this? Tervantias was robbed. I really wish I could see his face the moment he looked upon his lair. Marzai laughs mockingly, then looks around the room. Although this place is not a homunculus's lair, too safe, too shabby, more of a last refuge. My kinspeople were unable to find this place. The Dark Ones would hardly have been content with a single trophy, even one as great as this. No, this was done crudely and quickly, and that behavior is more typical of the monkey. The work is precise, though not the neatest. Whoever did this clearly knew what they were looking for and where to strike. Just look at the edges of the breach, Shireen. They were definitely ripped apart by a targeted blast. Okay. Are we thinking that perhaps they were ripped apart by a targeted blast that was potentially from Kaligos' ship, or Kaligos' group? Maybe Kaligos wasn't telling the truth? Not entirely sure. We have to assume he was, for now, but he is the other, you know, Imperium person on this planet.
Result.
So it's kinda person we would suspect. Oh, there's loot here. To our left, somewhere? How do we get to that loot?
So Vladime has been left in charge of Footfall. Let's see what he will make of this mess with Chorda.
The first thing he must do is show greater deference, if not undying gratitude, in his dealings with the Lord Captain. It was only the Lord Captain's intervention that saved Vladime's hide.
Okay. That's fine. I'm just trying to figure out how to get to the loot, guys. Chill a second. So it looks like there's some way in through here, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe there's somewhere we can go in? Just try to figure out if there's anywhere else. Like, it's not going to be down this way, because down this way is too far down. So, up here... Let's make our way back through. Let's see if there's a way that we can access that. What was this? So that was... Yeah, that was the way to get this way, I think. Okay. So...
I always keep my options open.
At searching.
There we go. So it was the door that we had found.
Do you see that?
Okay. It's a demolitions one. Get it?
Triumph is
Wonderful.
my birthright.
Do we have
Always
everybody
keep
here?
your eye on the prize.
Yes, they were just stacking on top of each other. Okay. And now we can get in. So that was what we discussed. We had a perception check here a while back.
Something nearby.
And I was like, I wonder what they saw. That's what they saw. Okay, I'm assuming it's going to be you.
Entertain me. There is torment to be sown. I can cut your eyelids for you to see.
Okay, I walked
better.
into the second trap. Oh well.
Rise to the top.
He only saw
or
it
get
when he
left
was
in the
standing on top
dust.
of it, so not a lot I can do about that. Toxic Flamer. Inflicts toxin at the same level as burning. That's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Is there
I don't know
money
if
to
that's
be
for
made?
anyone. Maybe that's
It's a
for...
peculiar thing.
We just walked over another trap.
You will pay
Okay.
an even greater price.
Yeah. That seems like it could be a thing for Argenta. If we, for some reason, can't hurt them with bolters, maybe just toxic them. Cogitators deep in dreamless slumber, and the sacred unguents on their connection ports have long since dried. Okay, cool. And now I'm happy
I
to leave.
always have a backup
Wait, no, I'm
plan.
not. I just saw goods. Wait for the quick save to finish, and there are goods here. Aha. Strange log. The notebook contains detailed observations, formulae, and diagrams and is thickly covered in a viscous greenish liquid. Almost all the pages are firmly glued together. Their contents are turned into blurry stains. Errament number 78. Outcome failure. Subject capable of maintaining minimal vital falls short of every requirement. Degree of anomalies and deformities unacceptable. Failure. Upon being removed from the capsule, the subject's vital processes decreased in an excruciating manner following a brain hemorrhage and multiple internal bleedings. Internal bleeding? Experiment number 13. Outcome. Partial success. Specimen capable of maintaining basic vital processes, but only if continually neurally stimulated by means of drilling through the elbow, knee, and hip joints. Experiment number 21. Outcome. The last subjects have been able to conform to the minimum requirements, but their capabilities are limited. They're incapable of learning, no capacity of the original organism. That's saying that the clones aren't as good as the original.
I always keep
Okay.
my options open.
So that was from the homunculus, and it's basically saying his clones weren't doing what they needed to do, which is kind of what we saw. Like, one of them was good, the clones were not. Okay. Another quick save. And time to leave. Okay.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
The Voxcaster under your armor suddenly spits out a cacophony of sounds, the growl of chainswords, human screams and the screech of metal, and the rattling interference of an active Voxcast. Working the buttons, switches, and tumblers only makes it worse. Repair the Voxcaster. Skillfully wielding your tools, you open the device's case and check each part's condition. The Voxcaster does not enjoy your manipulations and hisses at you, and then the lumens on its screen grow red and the broadcast stops. But the calm does not persist for long. Right before your eyes, the device's remains burst into purple sparks, and the dead speaker emits a familiar voice of speaks with gods, hoarse and feeble. O star-born sky herald of the ego god, hear the prayers of your servant sent to you through the myriad forests of Quetzaltemer. The nightmare has become real. The darkness left the forest, but the light of the undying star can still be saved. The heart of the forest calls out for you. As soon as the priest's voice stops, your entire body aches with a crack as if electrocuted. You are standing on the tips of your toes, staring at a crimson sky at dusk that's turned into an ocean of spilt blood. Its still surface is broken by a hand with fingers covered in rings, and Caligos Winterscale emerges from the depths, only to take a single breath and disappear once more into the blood. It happens again and again and again, until he finally notices you. He throws out his hand and reaches for you. He reaches out, and the illusion fades away, leaving only a splitting headache in its wake. Okay. Caligos emerges from the blood, take a single breath and disappears. It happens again and again until he finally notices you. He throws out his hand and reaches for you. He reaches out. So is this something to do with Caligos' anger? Is this him being drowned in blood, being kind of like his anger or something like that, and then he's trying to reach for us for help? Brox's chunks. Even a fresh recruit with his teeth knocked out would have given a clear report. What happened there? Ah! Nadir digs her nails into her face, purple sparks gleaming at the ends of her hair. The dusk sun has reached the treetops, and the crimson heart has struck its last beat. The dying stars have no hope left. Run, fools, back! I could barely understand the speech of this monkey, but one thing is clear. Their settlement needs help. I care little about the woes of those primitive creatures. I'm simply paying reparations for the pain that my kin have brought upon this world. By the throne's radiance, those psychers certainly love speaking in riddles. And now we are supposed to go herring off and make guesses about what has happened? Abelard nervously fiddles with his mustache. Still, his tone has made it clear that it is nothing good, and I fear that it is already too late. Rotten feeling, I dare say. Let's go to the village. Let's find out what's happened. We heard chainswords, which implies that there's definitely something going on. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Not seeing anything here immediately. I do see a body strung up, but that might have been here before we got here. Okay, yeah, there are some dead ends over here. Let's move in. Hello, Caligos. Did you kill them all? I kind of hope you didn't kill them all.
Let us not dawdle.
Blood for the rogue trader's throne. Skulls for the skull god. Caligos, do you understand that you're talking about, like, you're basically reciting Corn rhetoric, one of the 4 chaos gods? Caligos Winterscale laughs uncontrollably, looking around the blood-soaked village. His eyes are full of rage, as if an absolute insanity has possessed him. Wharton the Grey seems hypnotized by his master's words, his bloodshot eyes alight with a slowly growing flame, unnatural, frightening, demonic. The remaining members of Winterscale's retinue have dispersed around the village's center. The navigator, apathetically observes the massacre from a distance. The tech priest appears overly fascinated with assembling and disassembling her own leg augmetics, and the Slith mercenary is raising the village, wholly satisfied. Only Kaligos' new psyker speaks with gods is nowhere to be seen. Ha! Marzai ecstatically breathes in the metal and salt floating in the air. I am growing fond of this monkey. Kaligos turns around and gives you the broadest of smiles. Ah, Malachi, how was your hunt? Okay. This massacre is your doing, is it not? Kaligos' smile grows faint, condescending. You convinced me. You dissuaded Kaligos Winterskill from battling the Eldari in the forests of Quetzaltemur. You convinced me to stop hunting the Xenos' new blood, but thirst and melancholy got the better of me sooner than I anticipated. I grew bored, and those worthless peasants squealed so miserably that I wanted to strangle them more and more and more. His eyes briefly glaze over. This monkey killed his own kin just because he could not kill mine. Urliette's face is shadowed by a shroud of guilt. I did not wish for it to end this way, Elentak. If gold and authority ever turned me into such a soulless ashmag, you better shoot me where I stand, Shireen. What happened to you, Kaligos? What have you become? What are you saying, new blood? Have the Xenos addled your mind in so short a time? Kaligos looks at you with a mix of surprise and confusion. Didn't Theodora explain to you that in the Expanse, baseless accusations went out of style a good 100 years ago? Okay. Let's see what we got here. Look around, your own retinue is terrified of you. The Winterscale I've heard of would never have thrown his worlds to Chorda only to indulge in mindless hunting. Let's go for persuasion. It failed. Winterscale's smile twists into a wicked grin. I do not tell you how to run the affairs of your dynasty. You should keep your nose out of mine as well. Look around, your own retinue is terrified of you. I am the rogue trader, a warrior of the God Emperor, and a great ruler of my dynasty. They should tremble in the face of their master's power. But not out of fear, no, out of reverence. Winterscale grins at his retinue, but it is not enough to dispel the oppressive silence. The tech priest bows her head until her face is completely obscured by her hood. The navigator nods curtly and quickly averts his eyes. The Slith is licking a fresh wound that may have been inflicted by a power axe. What's the matter? Am I truly so terrifying you cannot even look at me? Kaligos growls in exasperation. Where is that ridiculous psyker? At least he knows how to honor his master with his words. Old man? The unit that identified itself as Speaks with Gods has been annihilated, Lord Captain. You personally conducted the execution. Your reasoning was, I quote, Kaligos' voice emerges from the tech priest's intricate system of cables and speakers. You think I need saving, old man? You think I can see the You say you can see the future? Well, did you foresee this? The buzzing of a power axe is blunted by human flesh, followed by a cry, a gargle, and the dull sound of a body falling to the ground. Bloody pile of scrap. I'll tear off your mechadendrites and stuff them down your throat. I don't remember anything like that. Kaligos shuts his eyes and grips his head in confusion. I know you killed your own seneschal. What nonsense are you spewing, new blood? Irdrick died at the hands of the Xenos who attacked our camp at night. Either Kaligos is a skillful liar, or he truly cannot remember what actually happened. Flinching as if struck by a whip, Winterskill stares at the village with a look of someone who is seeing it for the first time. Confusion and unease creep into his gaze. What happened here? Who dared? The realization forms new lines on his face. No, I surely couldn't have, or... Okay. Your arch-militant is a heretic and a servant of chaos. He is the one fanning the flames of your rage. This is your last chance, Kaligos. Cleave this upstart in two with the axe that I blessed for you. Skin him and bathe in his blood. We'll forget everything and continue on our journey to hunt and to kill. This is the way you prefer to drown out your loneliness and boredom, is it not? This is all you're doing, you wretched cur. Kaligos swings his axe at the arch-militant, but he evades the mortal blow with the grace of a viper. I showed you mercy, and you have been corrupting my soul this entire time, forcing me. No one forced you, Kaligos. I merely enabled your desire, fostered it, and made your crimson rage blossom. You suspected, yet your own pride stopped you from recognizing your weaknesses. Wharton's speech becomes more and more distorted with each word, and a thought swells in the back of your mind. You wish to kill him, tear him apart, here, now. Weak, worthless fool. I have spent so many years growing this rage inside you, and still you resist. Did you think you could refuse the blessing of the Skull God at the last moment? Well, one way or another, he will claim you all. Wharton's flesh bursts, and the last thing you notice is its hateful gaze turning to you. Ow. Oh, he's still going. Kaligos Winterscale lies on the ground, staring into the endless sky of Quetzaltemur. His pelvis is twisted unnaturally, his legs are not moving, an exposed bone shard protrudes from his right arm. Blood streams down his chin and into a thin rivulet with no sign of stopping. It was a good fight, new blood. For the first time, Kaligos Winterscale's voice is calm and humble. Okay. Your spine seems to be damaged. There's no walking with that. It seems you may be correct. Kaligos does not look dismayed by your words in the slightest. After all, I can't feel anything below the chest, aside from an overwhelming feeling of helplessness, of course. He lets out a contented wheeze instead of a laugh. What now? I will remain here with what's left of my escort and wait for help. You should go. There are still so many undiscovered stars and unknown worlds out there. Kaligos' gaze once again turns to the sky, where the first stars begin to appear. I'll take you to the Emperor's Vow. There is no need, but if you are so concerned about an old man's health, I shan't stop you. Okay. Well, Wharton is dead and had no loot. No loot? Okay, well, wait, said he had loot. But he has no loot. Okay. Do we now just leave?
Keep your wits about you.
Let's leave. I may have more to say, but I'm waiting till the end of this. Back to our bridge. Yeah, back to our bridge. Kind of expected it to jump me into like a cutscene there, but maybe I have to go to the bridge to get a cutscene here. Okay. And wait for it to finish the load. Maybe it's a longer load than usual because it's loading a cutscene. Potentially. No. Okay. I need to look something up. Okay, I've looked it up, and here's what I knew before going in here, and here's what's different now. So, you were, at one point in the game, able to recruit Kaligos Winterscale on Iconoclast. However, the quest may have been bugged in that it allowed you to recruit him, or it may be bugged now in that it doesn't allow you to recruit him, but either way, in the current state of the game, you cannot recruit him as Iconoclast. All you can do is redeem him, which is what we did. So his spine breaking is him being redeemed as the end of his storyline. Now, in this version of the game, you are able to get one extra companion as Iconoclast. That companion is Incendia Chorda. We would actually need to have a lot more Iconoclast points before we could have recruited her. However, we have killed her, which, to be honest, makes a lot more sense for our character. I don't really see how she would fit in with us here. It just seems like that would be weird. Like, weirder than some of the other companions that we've got, given our current, like, you know, policy on not burning people alive, although let's ignore that Marazai is with us. He would probably love it. But anyway, so that's what I wanted to look up, and that's why I was a little bit confused, because I was like, are you not meant to get Kaligos as a person if you're really good at Iconoclast? No. You can recruit Kaligos on the heretical side, as in you keep him as a follower of Khorne, and then, you know, he becomes your companion that way. That makes a lot of sense. Same with Incendia on the dogmatic side. That makes a lot of sense. Iconoclast gets neither of them. Well, gets Incendia apparently, but, like, the path that we've taken right now gets neither of them. So, cool. That's basically where we're at. So, I guess that means that we're done with everything except talking to Adira, which means that I'm kind of hoping that we get some summons at some point, because we literally have nothing left to do. We've done everything. There is nothing left. I don't know. I guess we'll talk to Adira now, just so that we can, like, say that we have literally finished everything. Then we start leveling up next time and just walking around, I guess? Okay, where's Adira? Hey, Adira, let's have a chat. Adira, how are you? Not regretting your decision, are you?
Never been better, Lord Captain. No joke. As soon as I stopped fearing for my life, even the voices in my head quieted down. But don't get me wrong, they will come back. And one day I'll find myself in a situation I can't get out of. But for now, I'm fine. And it's all thanks to you. You know, I think it's pretty ironic that my gift lets me see the future, when thinking about the future is the thing I'll do anything to avoid. Substances of all kinds, jokes, stories about their good old days. I hide under them all like a blanket. As long as I don't poke my head out, everything will be okay. At least, that's what I thought. But I'm tired of living other people's stories. I want to tell my own. I don't know when or how mine will come to an end, but I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that somebody someday tells at least one decent story about Adira Tlass. And I can't think of a better way to do that than by standing shoulder to shoulder with you.
One story, don't sell yourself short. You and I have already had enough adventures to fill a tome.
Then what are we waiting for? Get a scribe in here. We need to get all this down before we forget. But we have to make me more heroic and powerful so that I come out looking the best next to your other companions. What do you reckon? How many wastrels have we slaughtered? 1 million? Stuff that. Let's make it 2.
I love how you could just be at that point, like, just leave my ship. But anyway, this seems like a good point to end the episode. Thank you very much for watching. Next time, we level up and I guess we try and progress the main quest. We'll see. Okay, well, thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.